3, 2, 1.
Here we go! Luke Henry, after kicking Monarch's ass to the depths of space, is back on Earth, and now he's looking to save the world from the Fourth World Foundation. Sure, he had help from Penumbra before, but she's not helping him this time. He's got to face it on his own. He's coming for a villain known as Adonis. He'll do it. You'll be there. Back it now. First Man 2, Learning Curve.
What is up, everybody? It is Monday in the house. The workday is over. You've got 4 days left of this grueling work week to get through, and then the weekend's here, and Dennis is going to drink a shit ton of beer because that's what he does.
A shit ton, yes. That is exactly what I do. Everybody who knows me know. Oh, wait, that was college. No, not so much now. I will
Dennis,
have a good Guinness.
It's okay to be an alcoholic, Dennis. It's okay.
Hey, if the Facebook post was very apt, by the way, about the 4 CEOs of the beer makers that went into a bar. You heard
it's
that?
True.
Right?
I sent it to you.
Exactly.
The CEO of Budweiser said, I'll have a Bud. The CEO of Coors said, I'll have a Coors. The CEO of, I don't know what the other one was, Michelob said, I'll have a Michelob. And the CEO of Guinness says, I'll just have a Coca-Cola. And all the 3 other CEOs said, why aren't you drinking beer? And he goes, well, if you guys aren't, I'm not going to.
Exactly, because Guinness is at least a beer. If you can see through it, it is not beer. Hyper Kaiju said, you are from Wisconsin. You can drink whatever you want, man. Thank you.
There you go. Guys, you saw the trailer for First Man. The campaign is live. It is up there. It is just waiting for you guys to go and back it. $699 little dollars away from unlocking that $20,000 stretch goal of the mini print. So, guys, sharing is caring. If you have backed it, if you haven't, get on it now. 64 pages of fun superhero action. Dennis can attest to that.
I can. I hope you all back it because I need a couple of more calluses from the first run. So we need a few more in there.
Ew, what were you doing when you were looking through that first book? That's gross.
No, we're talking about packaging, man. Packaging. Gemini mailers. Why does your mind always go to the depths of a black hole where nothing escapes, not even light or your humor?
Or my brain. I don't know. Hyper Guys, thank you very much for posting the link. Okay, without further ado, we will bring on our guest. You know her from previous campaigns of Work the Wizard, Super Dead, Pirate Queen, Work the Wizard, The Portal of Echoes, and now Jack the Ripper, Vampire Hunter. Welcome to the show, Mandy. Hello.
Like what? Hey, y'all. Were y'all talking about packages?
We were.
And calluses from them.
Dennis. Good Lord.
I've heard if you shake it more than 3 times, you're playing with it.
That's true.
That's what I've heard. That is the rumor on the street.
that is the word on the street.
Hi, you guys.
Hello. Hey, Dennis, look what she has behind her. Your favorite things. Pops.
Oh,
Dennis does not like Pops.
You don't like Pops.
I am an anti-pop guy.
See, I was like that, and then I found out that Pops were kind of the only thing keeping a lot of comic book shops opening right now. So then I started buying them from my local comic book store to help. So plus I think they're cute.
Well, I said it was a slippery slope. Once I bought one, I knew I would buy many of them. And it almost had me. So everybody who watches knows Dark Phoenix is my girl. So I have everything Dark Phoenix. They came out with a Dark Phoenix pop, and I went, oh my God, is this what causes it? How much was it? It was an exclusive for $80. And I went, $80 for a pop? No, thank you. I'm walking away. And I've even walked away from my Star Trek ones, all my X-Men ones. I'm free. I'm free. I am free to buy more comics.
Until Christmas. And I give him a pop, and it just starts. My daughter has like 350 to 400 of them.
Holy crap. Yeah, I've got like 25 or something. Whoa.
If you can see the shelves behind me, she has shelves like that in her bedroom going along all four walls, stacked. And she has them all up.
That's nice, though. If she keeps on, that'll pay for her college.
Well, I told her, I said, I'll be honest, after the first maybe 10 or 20, once I saw she was really getting into them, I said, we're keeping the boxes, because one thing's going to happen. You're either going to go to school, and she graduated high school last year, so she'll be starting school in the fall. Hey, what's up, Peter?
Hey, Pete.
And I said, you're either going to grow out of them to the point of going, I don't want them, let's sell them. And that's why we're keeping the boxes.
Yeah.
Or you're just going to want them. And even if you don't display them as an adult, you're just going to want to have them somewhere. And like, I collected Matchbox cars as a kid, and my dad kept them all. Now we didn't have, they came in the blister packs. We don't have those, but I still have all the Matchbox cars I had as a kid.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yep. And then you grow up from Pops into sideshow statues. Unfortunately, that is what Annie and I are doing tomorrow afternoon. Courtney and my daughter's going with us to go up to Lincolnton to visit a buddy of ours who's got a store. And my Jean Grey statue came in. Now I'm in my secondary room. Otherwise, you would see my other sideshows. But my quarter scale Jean Grey came in exclusive. So... yeah, so you can buy a lot of pops with just one of those.
Yeah,
so wait, you got the green light that it came in. He told you it's there.
Yeah, he texted me this weekend, and he goes, dude, it surprised all of us, but it's here. You need to come get your girl. And I'm like, it's a good thing for you. We're coming up on Tuesday to visit you. So it worked out great. It's a good shop.
Actually, it's a good thing for you that your wife didn't hear him say you need to come get your girl, because she'd be like, what?
Yeah.
What? And she'd smack you all
she'd
around.
be like, oh, the redhead, that's Jean. No, that's fine.
All right, Mandy. So we always like to ask, how did you get into comics and stuff? Like, what was this initiation for you to get into this stuff?
Well, I've always liked comics. I was blessed with an older brother, and growing up in a neighborhood that it was kind of like the Goonies, except I was the only girl. It just so happened that was the dynamics of my neighborhood. Was I was the one girl. And yeah, I just started. The guys were, they'd go out in the woods with their comics, and I'd, tag along. And I ended up falling in love with them. And my brother got me started when I was like 5 with a Rainbow Bright comic. And then I found Comicsgate, ironically enough, with Rainbow Bright again. They redid it a couple of years ago, and I was really excited because a way to bring my daughter into comics, right? I hadn't bought them in years. They kind of sucked. So I saw Rainbow Bright, and I got really excited. So I think it went 5 or 6 issues, and I went to my comic shop to buy it. And it was canceled. And I started Googling, like, why did they cancel this book? It wasn't good. Let me just be honest. It wasn't that good. But I was still like, well, why the hell they cancel it, right? And then through that, I found your boy Zach. I found Ethan. I found Comicsgate. And I don't know. I kind of looked into what they were about. And I realized, because I had thought this whole time that it was just the world was changing and I was like behind, like I wasn't going with the flow of everybody else. And then I found that there's this whole world of people that, you know, feel kind of like the way I do about comic books and about the way everything is right now. And yeah, it was like a no-brainer. Like, well, I want to be a part of it too. So, and now everybody's just kind of stuck with me because I'm here.
Oh, that's fun. What do you remember specifically when you were a kid? What comics they were that your brother like handed down or gave you?
Yeah, New Mutants. And then my friends, as I got a little bit older, my friends started with The Darkness and Preacher and Spawn and Witchblade, Battle Chaser, all of those. So, and that's just what the guys are reading. So that's kind of what I read too. Because my brother wouldn't always take me to the comic book store with him. He's 12 years older than me.
Oh, wow.
So it was really like at a certain point, it was like, please, because he always knew he had to buy me something when we went to. So, so a lot of times I would get left behind. So I had to read what my guy friends had mostly.
Right.
And my brother was really anal about me digging in his comic books because I wasn't careful with them and I dog ear them. And
oh my God, you're like my daughter.
I know. Jesus. I wasn't like now I am so anal about it. But back then I just ram them in the bag and board not thinking a thing about it. But yeah.
Oh my God, my daughter will take a trade paperback and right in front of my face because she knows it drives me crazy. And she'll go, I need to save my page, dog ear. And I'm like, oh, why? Use a bookmark. That's what they're for.
Yeah, especially if you got a nice metal one.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
Which I will have.
See, I know he's looking now.
Damn you, Dennis. Oh, it's right here. I have it. Screw you, buddy, right there. No, she does that. She doesn't bag and board anything. She doesn't have a lot of stuff that, like, I see what she buys, and since I know more about what stuff is worth, I can be like, whoa, let's be a little gentle with that one,
right?
Compared to like, that's go ahead. I don't care. Throw it across the room. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, that was a 20-cent comic. Don't worry about it. Just go.
Yeah, just go. But with trade paperbacks, she'll just bend the corner down. I'm just like, oh God, why are you doing that?
Yeah, that's what got me kicked out of my brother's room and out of his long box. I was no longer allowed to dig through his books without asking, and then he gave me all kinds of hell about it. Like, now look, and then it wasn't even worth it. So,
so now you treat him better now, right?
Yes. We'll say that. We'll go.
When we're kids. Like when we were kids, we would like if we're on vacation, we'd take our bikes down, go down to the store. You'd buy your comics. They were a quart. That's how old I am. They were a quarter, and you could sit there and roll them up. You'd stick them in your back pocket. You'd sit on your bike, and then you'd ride home, and then you'd pull them out and read them. That's what they were for. Little did we know back then what everything turned in today, and I just go, wow, what I could have had today.
Oh, I know. I used to have some of the Power 9 and Magic the Gathering. And when I was in my early 20s, I sold them because I needed money. So I sold them.
See, I don't even know what that means. So I honestly don't. I have no idea. I know what Magic the Gathering is. So the only reason I know what that is because a buddy of mine painted some of the cards back in the 90s.
Very cool. Very cool. That means I would have had millions that I don't have now. Yes. I would have kept them.
I had the old Pokemon. I had the original Magic the Gathering. And then I'm a big Star Trek and Star Wars fan. So I sold off my Magic cards in order to buy the Star Trek, the Star Wars CGC, all that. Now I look back and I still have my original tin that I bought for Star Trek, which is worthless. And my Magic cards, I could be driving around in multiple Teslas right now, but just the way it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I had no idea. If I could go back.
Did you get into Pokemon stuff too, or no? Or did you avoid that?
Not too much. We were more. My little group was more D&D and Magic the Gathering and EverQuest for a while. We were all kind of addicted to EverQuest. And then we moved over to World of Warcraft, and Yeah,
So
not too much with Pokemon.
You said D&D. Do you actually play D&D?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. No. I don't assume things. So what edition did you start out in?
3.5.
3.5. All right.
Mhm.
That which is kind of funny because when you first got on pre-stream, that's what I was doing, was just unpackaging the little metal figures that I picked up. Yeah. I started out back when it was an original box set, when it was just Dungeons and Dragons. My parents got it for me. We still had to color in the dice with a crayon.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. So we've done through Dungeons and Dragons, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, 2nd edition, 3rd edition, 3.5. Then we went to Pathfinder. 4th sucked, and now I'm just getting into 5th.
Yeah, I hated 4th. I haven't got to play 5th yet. Me and some of the girls have got together, and we're going to be doing a where we play 5th edition. But I haven't had a chance to play 5th yet. The last one I played was 3.5. I tried 4, but I don't like the buff aspect. They added too much. It felt too video game-ish for what it was.
I keep telling Andy he needs to try it.
Oh, you would love it. It's so fun.
Look at him. He's like, oh, God.
No, I just don't have enough time to even read stuff that I got. I was telling Dennis, I just got in the mail today from I bought it, of course. I just got the big fat warts and all. So now I got this to read, among other trade paperbacks and stuff. I've got so much to read.
You're going to be busy.
This is what I was going to pull out to read tonight. So I got War Party. And that's what I wanted to read, but I had just posted the review right beforehand. So I just posted the full review of Campese, the dragon incident that I told everybody I was going to do. And then I'm like, oh my God, I still got to fit in What If, because I hadn't seen episode 2 yet. So I got that fit in just in time for this. So I didn't even start reading War Party yet.
Aww.
I know.
You'll get to it. You'll get to it. I know. I need to be like a real life vampire, so I don't have to sleep. Because I've noticed sleeping really slows me down in what I could get done.
Well, you're young. How many hours of sleep a night do you need, do you think? Or do you?
I would prefer about 9 or 10.
All right. Well, that's a little overboard. I'll even say that. But
I get about 4 or 5.
Is that all you get, really?
That's it. I live on Red Bulls and pure adrenaline and exhaustion 90% of the time.
I don't know how you function. If I get
not well.
I was going to say, if I get, now granted, a little bit older than you, but if I get like 6 hours, 2 nights in a row, that third day, I'm wasted. I can't do anything. I go to bed. I'm a wuss. I go to bed at like 10:30 and get up at 6:30. So that's 8 hours, and I
stay up till about 2:30, and then I get up anywhere from 5:30 to 6 to get the kids up.
Oh my God!
I used to nap during the day, but I quit.
Than me,
I don't get a lot.
I wake up every single morning around 5:30. If I sleep in, it's like almost 6 o'clock. And it doesn't matter if I go to bed at 9 o'clock, midnight, or 2 in the morning. I am up at 5 o'clock.
Oh, that would be great though. Like an internal alarm to go off. That would actually be nice, because I'm always having to set like 4 or 5 alarms and make it go off over and over.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that alarm will go off. There's been mornings my kids actually come in there and say, "Hey, are you taking us to school today or what?" And it's like, oh no, we're late. So yeah.
That sounds like my daughter. Like my daughter cannot. We've tried like different alarm clocks, music, everything, and her bedroom's right across the hall from ours. And we'll just be like, oh my God, how is she sleeping through that?
That's me. Wow. I have my phone. I have a standard like digital alarm clock. And then I also have, I don't know what they're actually called. I call them a Big Ben. The ones that like with the bells that ding, 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 ding. Yeah, the big round ones. Yeah. I have those 3 and they all go off at different times to try to wake me up.
Well, who gets up? Who has to get up first? You or your husband?
Me.
Oh. Doesn't wouldn't that wake him up and make him roll over and go, get up, get up?
He kicks me sometimes, like, hey, you gonna get up? But I sleep through that too. So he ends up waking up when I do, just because my damn alarms wake him up.
Oh my God. He doesn't go to bed that late, does he?
No, he goes to bed a little bit earlier than I do.
Oh my God. You are crazy.
I'm up trying to catch up on laundry, or trying to get writing done, or trying to get some fulfillment done while it's quiet and the kids are asleep. There's so much to do, and I do so much more when it's quiet in the house and there's not people interrupting me all the time. And then sometimes I get playing Mario Kart, and then I look up and it's like 3 a.m. and I'm like, oh, well, I play Mario Kart all night. So may need to go to bed now.
See, mine was PTO because my wife would hate it. Matter of fact, I saw her walking by, and all I'd have to say is PTO, and she'd be upset. So it was a Super Nintendo game, and it was the same music. It was like Axis and Allies, Japan versus the United States, Pacific Theater, and it was the same 8-bit music, and she hated it.
Oh, no.
And I would play it all night long till 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I'd be like, oh, I got to go to bed. And then she would be sitting there sleeping through the music, and she wakes up. That's all I can hear is the music playing all night long. And I'm like, yeah. So if I want to annoy her now, you can go and Google it, and I can find on YouTube like a clip of them playing that music from the game, and I'll just play it. And she'll be like, oh my God, I'm so angry at you right now.
You should make that her phone ringtone. So she's just sitting in the car and her phone starts ringing.
Great.
That's a great idea.
That's the kind of stuff I do to my husband.
Yeah, that is. I've changed her ringtone some. His wife is funny though, because what is it, about 9:30? If you tell her what time it is, it's like something goes off. She's just like, "Oh no, you told me the time," and she's out. I'm not kidding. We were over there watching a movie one night. And remember, she didn't know what time it was.
Yep.
And then I said what time it was, and it was like a light switch went off. She didn't just fall asleep. She didn't immediately fall asleep, but she started yawning. And it's all because I said what time it was. I really think if I didn't say what time it was, nothing would have happened.
Oh, my God.
It's kind of like Deuce Bigalow, if you remember that movie where the girl had narcolepsy. Well, she's got a form of narcolepsy. They don't call it that, but it is. So she can be like, oh, my God, that was a great episode. Let's watch another one. And I'm like, oh, my God, she's wide awake. And then she'll look and she goes, does that say it's 9:01? Oh, she'll instantly start yawning. The eyes start closing and she's done. If it says 8 o'clock, she's fine. The moment it says 9 p.m., her body shuts down if she sees the time. So I tell everybody, don't show the clocks, hide the clocks, and don't see it.
True.
That is great, though. There's so many pranks you could do with that.
There is.
She's probably going to leave you if you do too many of them. But you have options, is what I'm saying, to prank. For good pranks.
There is. Well, she really screwed us on a trip because she has a hard time driving too. So we were going on a big trip and she was all excited. We had a long driveway. Andy loves this story.
I love this story.
He goes, oh my God, I'm going to drive first. I'm like, wow, you're going to drive first? Super. I brought comics to read. I'm like thinking, oh my God, this never happens. I'm so excited. So we get the kids in the back. We start backing up down the driveway and she stops right at the mailbox. Starts out and she goes, yeah, I'm done. I'm like, done? We haven't even left the driveway yet. She goes, yeah, I need a nap. I got to fall asleep. So we literally changed seats and I wound up driving. She didn't even make it out of the driveway.
That's great.
That kills me. That just kills me. I mean, like, I'm not, when it comes to drive, I don't know, like, and with you and your husband, I don't know who does most of the driving, like if you take a long trip, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't have a problem driving long distances. When Dennis and I went to MegaCon in Orlando, we're in North Carolina. That's an 8-hour drive. I drove the whole way.
Yep.
Because we talked the whole way. We just went to Tennessee over the weekend to Pigeon Forge, right? It's only a 4-hour drive, And I haven't talked to Dennis since then. Dennis, I made it 2 hours. And I was like, you need to drive. And she's like, okay, why? And I'm like, because I'm tired. Because we don't really, because I mean, I've been married. Dennis and I have both been married for 26 years or so. Mm-hmm. He's a year more than me. So I've been married for 26 years. I don't know about you. I don't know how long you've been married, but you get to a point where on a long drive, my kid's in the back watching crap on her phone. Mm-hmm. My wife's like just sitting there, do just whatever, just listening to the music. And besides, you know, a little bit of small talk here and there, it's not like these deep conversations, especially with like, you know, I mean, my daughter's 18, so it's, you know, it's not like we can't talk whatever, but still like 2 hours in, I'm just like, oh my God, this is just so boring.
Right.
I just don't get it. We don't have that problem. And of course I tell that to my wife and she goes, what can two guys talk about for 16 hours on the road? And we were like, we never ran out of stuff. And, you know, we talk comics, we talk politics, we talk COVID, we talk whatever, you know, there's always stuff. I don't get it. So I wound up doing a 35-day road trip when COVID started with my sister-in-law, my wife's sister, and her two kids. I got a niece and nephew, and she goes, I'm laid off. You know, let's go on a big road trip. Your kids have seen everything. My kids have never seen anything. So we went on for 35 days. I went on this big, massive trip with them. We listened to, well, of course, Hair Nation. And so we were jamming out, we were singing, and we talked for 35 days without skipping a beat. We never had an issue. We never talked. My wife gets in the car for an hour and she's like, I'm done talking. There's nothing left in the world to talk about. And she's like taking a nap.
There's nothing left in the world. But you don't understand. Like you're probably going, he's exaggerating. She's not like that. No, she is like that. She totally is like that. And it just cracks. Put this way, because it's definitely not a story made for the live stream. When we're done, and he knows the story, and you're going to tell her when we're off the live stream.
Yeah, this is a fairly PG-13 site, so that'll be afterwards.
But
I'm excited.
You should be, because when he told me this, I almost fell out of my chair. So, and this is, you know, this just happened recently, so it's not like something that happened years ago. And I'm like, no, I don't believe she did that. No, this was within the past year. Just like,
yes, and then we Kellen and, you know, Andy's wife, and we all went out to eat one night. And it came out, and she goes, "Yeah, I said that."
Yeah.
All right.
So, anyhow, back to the stuff. So how did you get into the whole crowdfunding thing? What was the first bite of the apple and so on?
Well, I had this story. I had always, when my daughter was really little, I was trying to read her story. I would read to her every night from the time she came home from the hospital until, you know, now. I've read to her every night. One night she was just being ungodly difficult. And I kept asking her, like, what do you want? Do you want me to read you popcorn? Do you want this book? Do you want this one? And she kept saying, no. I played that game with her for about 8 or 9 minutes. I was already exhausted. And I was finally like, okay, I'm done with this. Lay down. I'll tell you a story. So she laid down, and somehow, as I'm sitting there telling her, I ended up telling her, creating Wart the Wizard.
Okay.
And then the next night when I asked her, what do you want me to read? She was like, no, just make something up. Make me up another Wart story. And that went on for months. So to the point I had to get notebooks, and I started taking notes of, like, after I got her down, I'd come in and like, all right, here's what happened. Well, when I found out about Comicsgate, I had all of this stuff from the story that I had, you know, told her. And I thought it would be so cool to make it and, like, give it to her, right? So I wouldn't even try. I didn't even know if it would sell because my art's crap. So I didn't know if it would sell or anything. But I thought, you know, if I make enough money and just learn how to do it, right? Just learning how to do it would be cool. And if I make enough money to print one copy and give to her, that's pretty freaking cool. You know, your stay-at-home mom, you know, made a comic book. How freaking cool is that? So yeah, I made Wart the Wizard. I drew it, I colored it, I learned how to letter, I learned how to color, I just sat there and taught myself how to do it with help from people in Comicsgate when I would get like confused, like, hey, what kind of paper do you use? Like, how thick is this paper are we talking about? Hey, what kind of sheen did you get put on the coat? You know, so I would ask people and then they would help me out. And yeah, it was just really important for me to learn how to do everything myself. So my very first book, I did do every aspect myself on it. So it was. So did you?
Well, I was just say for the books following, like, you know, Pirate Queen and stuff like that. Do you do the pre-press stuff yourself then, or do you have somebody else set it up for you to get it ready for the printer?
Oh no, I do that too.
Do you really?
The print files? Yeah, I do my print files. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I learned how to do it. That's why there was a slight delay on Pirate Queen. I was having a lot of trouble. There's a lot of double page spreads in Pirate Queen, and I thought it looked good, right? So I sent it in and I got the sample back, and it wasn't too bad off, but it was off enough that I'm like, okay, no, I gotta fix that. And it took me 3 times of sending it and getting it back before I got it right. But now it's like flawless, and I'm like, yeah. So
cool.
I'm very adamant on learning how to do stuff yourself, being self-proficient. So
sure.
I wanted to learn every aspect, because you can't relate to people if you don't know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? Like if you had never done it and you're trying to explain to somebody print files, or you hear somebody complaining about, not that print files are hard, it's just boring. Oh my God.
Yeah, it is.
It is so boring. So, and you got to do each page individually, and so it's just mind numbing. So, but unless you've sat there and done it on like a 48-page book, or, you know, a 98-page book, then you don't really know how repetitive of a thing it is, and just how mind-numbingly boring it is.
Now, this is just a technical thing, but I'm just curious, what program are you using to put the stuff together?
Oh God, what is the name of it?
Is it are you using InDesign?
That does not sound like what I'm using. Hold on, I never even look, honestly, since I got it.
Oh, now I'm really curious, because most people, you know, they just get the whole Adobe Creative Suite, because that's Photoshop and all that stuff. But like the guys I've worked with that do this is all they do, is put books together for printers, use InDesign. And I've tried InDesign, and I'm like, God, this is
you don't like it?
It's just kind of tough. And you know, I've got so much other stuff that I just ask a friend of mine that does it, and he, you know, he charges me a good rate. So I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
Nice. Nice. What the hell was this program?
But now I'm curious what you're using, because InDesign, because before InDesign, and this goes way back, like 20 years or so, it was Quark. But once InDesign came about, I think people stopped using Quark.
Gotcha. Okay, so what I've been doing is using Photoshop, and then Clip Studio, and then I just format it to Mixam's template.
Yeah, there you go.
That's how I've been doing it.
Yeah.
I did have a program, and it may have been the one you were talking about, but there was a few that was just, I didn't like them.
Well, so InDesign, it depends. Like since you're using Mixam, I know how they accept their files. So doing it, you know, the way you said works totally fine. But then some companies want a whole just like with Mixam, you can either upload a full PDF of the whole book, or you can upload individual pages. And InDesign is good if you're formatting a whole book, because it makes it real simple. If you learn InDesign, it makes it really quick. From at least what the guy I know that uses it, it's quicker than doing things separately in like Photoshop and whatnot.
Right. I've always just uploaded them one at a time anyways. So
there you go. Yeah. No, that's cool. Oh, nice. But it's good to learn all that.
It is.
Do you do the lettering too, or do you hire out for lettering?
Now I did with my first one, just so I could learn how. Now Peter does everything. I've kind of handed the reins over to him, so he does the art, the colors, the lettering. He's amazing at all of it. So yeah, I don't necessarily have to do it anymore.
Well, and it's good doing that because he knows where he wants the lettering to go and
exactly.
Such, can figure all that in when he's doing the layout design of the page.
Exactly. He knows what he's wanting to do with it. And it's simple for him it's a lot simple. I mean, I know how to do it. But I'm not like proficient like somebody that's been doing it for 20 years. I'm slow about it. Where Peter's like done. Takes me more time because everything something happens and it's like, oh shit, what did I do? Or
no, I totally hear you.
Or you delete a layer that you don't mean to delete, and you're like, because you think you're deleting something else, and then now that whole layer is gone, and you're like, wait a minute, where'd that go?
Well,
and then.
It's like you said, it's good to know how, like I know how to letter, I can do it. I can do it in Illustrator, just like, I work with Steve Dutro, who I went to art school with. He letters all my stuff. He's been a professional letterer for 30 years, starting with hand lettering, doing digital, creating his own font, blah, blah, blah. The difference between him and I is he can bang out, a whole book probably in half a day, where it will take me easily a day or more. And I don't know sound effects as well. But if he sends me something and it's a little weird, depending on how difficult it is, I could probably edit it myself instead of having to wait for him. So that's the good part. And it's the same with coloring. I know how to digital color. I've digital colored a bunch of my own stuff. But once again, a full page of digital coloring for me might take me a day, a full day, whereas digital colorists can do 3 or 4 a day.
Exactly. Yeah, so, I'm slow on my stuff. I can do it, and I learned how, but I mean, I've still only done one book. So, I got the knowledge from doing one book, but I got it.
Hey, Peter, I don't use Clip Studio to letter, so maybe I should try and learn is what you're saying, so I can get out of that idiot category. But then Dennis wouldn't have any names to call me, so there.
No,
you don't want to take away his name. Lug nuts, big hugs, hi.
There you go.
Hey,
I'll be honest. I've never lettered in Clip Studio. The only thing I've ever done really in Clip Studio is some digital inking, but I like doing stuff traditionally, so I don't even do much in that.
That's how I was at first. When I first started with Wart, I hadn't gone digital. I had nothing was digital. Everything. I was literally like, doing the entire pages on Bristol board and getting it ready.
That's good, because your daughter has something now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's
awesome. I kept my cover never actually even went up on the campaign because so many amazing guys in Comic Skate offered to do a cover for me, like Peter and a few others with the Wizard. So I still had my original cover that I drew that was never. So I'm going to give that to her for. Yeah. It never got printed, but I worked really hard on that cover too.
No, that's cool.
I worked my butt off on that cover. So
I always say, because I don't sell my original art. Well, I used to, but I haven't in 20 some years. And I tell people, I say, they're like, well, what are you gonna do with it? I'm like, I don't plan on doing anything with it. Now, once I'm 6 feet under, if my wife says, let's sell it, okay. Or if she says, let's have a bonfire, knock yourself out. I can't do anything with it at that point. So I don't care, but I just don't, I don't want to sell it. So
no, anyhow. I don't blame you. You worked hard on that,
Well, and I kind of look at it. I already got paid for it once for doing the book. So
exactly. No, I don't blame you. Hoard it like a dragon.
I do. But sit on it. And I every now and then I'll do a little piece here and there and be like, here, you can have this or whatever. But
so I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious about how did Jack the Ripper Vampire Hunter come to be? Because I know that's your current campaign, and it looks amazing.
Thank you.
Who came up with the idea, and how did this come to fruition?
Me and Peter had been, in Backroads, we had been talking about for, I would say, honestly, about a year and a half, about how him and I wanted to do like a slasher type book. We've thrown out a bunch of ideas. This is where Peter is at home with his art and just what he is into. He's definitely a horror guy. black and white with this very high detail. That is, Peter is at home there. And at one point we were talking about doing something kind of like Friday the 13th, like, you know, slasher like that. And we've been throwing ideas out for, like I said, about a year and a half now. Peter came to me one day and he said, "Hey, Mandy, I have an idea for a book. Tell me what you think." And he said, "Okay." And he kind of gave me the little spiel for it, Jack the Ripper Vampire Hunter. And as soon as he said it to me, I was like, "Oh my gosh, Peter, I could write the hell out of that." Yes. So, and then he started turning in. When he told me about it, he had already worked on a little bit of artwork for it. And he showed me that first page that's on the campaign of the city and all of that. And I was like, dude, yes. Not that one, but a little bit down, a little bit more. Right there. That was the first. Yes, that was the first page he showed me. And I was like, dude, we're doing this. We have to do this. We have to. So yeah, it was really, this was all Pete's idea. I was blessed to know that he is allowing me to write it, because I am having a blast writing this. So yeah, I'm super stoked.
So how are you guys actually collaborating on it together? Like you guys, like when I work with my guy, my buddy on First Man, we talk on the phone. I give him kind of what I'm thinking for an overall plot with some points that I want him to hit. And then I'm like, okay, go write the script. And then he gets back to me with the full script, you know, and that's what I draw from. So, I mean, is it kind of like that, or how did you guys work out?
A little bit. Pete kind of told me what he was thinking with it, the aspects that was really important for him for us to hit. And then I just turned in the whole script and let him kind of go over it. I sent him a few pages at a time as I'm writing them, and sent him over like panel by panel. Hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? What do you think of this? And then he shows me the art when he's done. And Peter is so incredibly fast of an artist. I cannot fathom how he draws so well in such a short little time. But he, you know. And then we completely work together. I was really, really blessed. I see a lot of people that end up like, they get an artist or a writer that they're really comfortable with, and then something happens. Peter and I work together so freaking well that like 99% of the time we're thinking the exact same thing anyways. We're really in tune with what the other one is wanting out of campaigns. So it works out really, really well. There's no real bickering. Usually it's like, I mean, once in a while he'll say, "Mandy, that name sucks, change it." And I'll say, "Peter, that vampire looks like Count Chocula, change it." But other than that, it's so fun. I'm able to work. My artist is like my best friend in this. So it's a lot of fun. We get to goof off, and, you know, it's a blast. Do
you guys live nearby? Have you known each other?
No.
Found each other.
He is in England, so very far off. No, he was one of the ones that offered to do a cover for me on my original campaign. And that is how we met, was him, you know, offered to do a cover. And then when he offered, I was like, oh my gosh, that's Peter Gilmore, the artist on The Case of the Littlest Umbrella. Oh my gosh, I can't. And yeah, we just ended up being like besties. So don't be
Also, that must have actually happened, because I was saying, who doesn't love Count Chocula?
That's right.
That has happened. Peter makes fun of me for it and talks about what it's like working with me. And his story is, he turned in a piece of art, and he did. And I said, "Who is this Count Chocula looking MFer? You got to change that." And he aggravates the crap out of me about it now. So
yeah, come on, you can have Frankenberry as a backup.
Yeah,
Frankenberries were the bomb, though. They were good.
They were.
They were good.
Blueberry and Count Chocula. All three of them.
Yeah, not as good as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cereal.
Oh,
that was amazing, but they were good too.
That is way after my time. I don't even remember that. No, I don't. I'm serious.
Really?
I don't remember that at all.
Oh my gosh, it was so good.
They were good. Matter of fact, and they were better than the Batman cereal.
They were.
You should have probably had that Batman cereal.
Wait, was it around in the 80s?
Yeah, we came out from.
Oh yeah, no, I don't remember that at all.
From the Jack Nicholson, yeah.
No, I remember the Batman stuff. I was talking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That was around in the 80s.
Like late 80s, early 90s, maybe.
Yeah,
around that time, like when the movie came out.
Yeah.
The first movie came out.
Oh, well,
They were delicious.
let's watch the trailer.
Yay!
Nice.
Damn, who did that trailer? That trailer is great.
That was me.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Jinx.
Wow. Wow. That's awesome.
Adobe Premiere, sir. Adobe Premiere.
That's so cool. Like, that's funny because like my daughter did our little intro one.
Aww.
But she uses she started with Premiere, but then she went to After Effects because I guess After Effects is what a friend of mine in town works for the local CW station, and apparently After Effects is what is normally like you can start with Premiere, but then work up to After Effects.
I do that. Yeah, I do that as well. So.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah,
it was very reminiscent. It was very reminiscent, and again, I'm showing my age, but you guys can Google it. There was a computer game it's like an early live action horror called Phantasmagoria. That I think it was Sierra Arts that put it out like in the late 80s. It came on like 7 CDs, but it was that type of motion video that was so cool, and you had to do tasks and stuff. My wife and I and my sister-in-law, we would stay up for hours playing it. That is so reminiscent. That's what I just flashed back to. That is just cool.
That is awesome, and I love Sierra games. I love I grew up on Sierra games.
Did you really?
I did. Leisure Suit Larry, boy. I play those on my channel every once in a while. I'll do a Leisure Suit Larry stream. And no, I loved King's Quest and Leisure Suit Larry and all of I grew up playing those.
Google Phantasmagoria and you'll see what I mean, because it's one of the first old horror ones that I know of back in the day.
That is awesome. I'm gonna have to check that out and see if I can find I have DOSBox on my computer, so maybe I can find it.
Yep.
To play, because that sounds amazing.
That's cool. Okay, so story-wise, it seems like there's the main bad vampire. And he's biting the women, changing them.
Yes.
So Jack has to take them down because you can't have vampires running around.
Right.
And he's got to hunt down the main bad, guy. But is Jack still was he killing before this whole thing? Or is this okay?
No, Jack in our story, Jack is really more of a hero than a villain.
Do we ever find out who he is?
We will, but not in this one. But not in this one. So, but yeah, Peter and I have talked about it. Right now, Peter did this amazing thing where he added the mask. So Jack is wearing a mask. So it is a mystery the whole time as to who it is. But yeah, at some point we will be revealing who it is, who we think it is anyways. Cool. And Peter and I both have, Peter more so than me even, have done, really extensive research into Jack the Ripper. So a lot of this is going to have a lot of truth to it, just with a little bit of a twist. All the victims are going to be the actual victims. The names will be the same. But yeah, in this story, the Highgate Vampire was a thing, and it's crazy. And I couldn't believe it when Peter was telling me this. But back in the 70s and 80s, they had, like, in this graveyard in London, I guess, they had news reporters out there actually, like, interviewing vampire hunters looking for the Highgate Vampire. They thought, it was so realistically done that, I mean, they literally had true news reporters out there, like, talking about it, right? So we thought, let's add that to Jack the Ripper, because the time frame, the names, and it'll show in the book, the names are going to coincide. It's going to be like, whoa, that's crazy how you can twist it into making it look like that. Because, very well, the Highgate Vampire could have been around when Jack the Ripper was there, if you go by the victims. Wow. So, cool. We added that aspect. So what's happening is vampires do, in our world anyways, and I think in a lot of them, they need a period of slumber, right? After, centuries and centuries of roaming the earth, they need to slumber for a little bit. They need to get a final feast and then kind of go underground for a little bit and slumber, rejuvenate a little bit. Jack's starting to look the Highgate Vampire starting to look like a vampire. He can't walk among humans without somebody being like, oh God, at this point. Oh, yeah. So it's time for him to go slumber. But Jack has been after him for years. And as Jack is getting closer, doing like detective work to get closer to the Highgate Vampire, he needs to stop Jack. So the best way he does it is by turning prostitutes into vampires to try to stop Jack. So the police are after Jack. Jack is after the Highgate Vampire, while at the same time, the prostitutes are after Jack as well, trying to stop him from getting to the Highgate Vampire so he can slumber.
And the police are after Jack because
are after Jack because they think it's him. I mean, doing it right. So it's there's a lot going on. It's going to be a very busy book. So
So it's a period piece set in the actual historical time of Jack the Ripper.
Yes, exactly. Nice. Yes. And Peter has done so much research on what old London would look like. So much research on what the streets look like, on what people were. I know he spent now I don't think it needed to take him this long, but he spent like an entire day figuring out what like Victorian prostitutes wore, so he could get their clothing accurate. I don't think it needed to take him that long, but he says it did. So he spent all day looking up.
I just don't think he had to try on the outfits. That's where I think he went a little overboard.
He went a little overboard.
Yeah, I think he told me that in confidence.
That may have been a confidence.
Sorry about that.
Andy just felt bad that he was left out because he wanted to join him.
I did. Every now and then I like to slap the old corset on and just cinch it up around the waist.
Feel pretty. There's nothing wrong with wanting to feel pretty sometimes.
Dennis never tells me I'm pretty anymore, so I got to do what I got to do.
Wig.
Oh, you son of a bee! Well, this looks great. I mean, so this is the main cover.
Yes.
Oh no! Wait, that's cover B.
No. That's cover B. Cover A is the that one is cover A, and that is actually Pete hand drew that whole frame. It is actually, like, he hand drew every aspect of that. He said he could have ripped it off, but he didn't like the way it looked. So he hand drew it, and it's beautiful. It is amazing.
See, he looked cute when he dressed up.
He did look cute.
No, the detail is just stunning. I mean, this looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, he's really perfectly suited for it too, because I mean, I know it's a black and white book, but this color piece here is just really nice.
It is.
And strong. And that vampire is creepy as F for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the black and white art on the inside is very, because you hear black and white, and until you see it, you have to see it, because black and white, it's not that it can be bad, but it has to be done right. So you go, oh, it looks like it's lacking color, but this doesn't. This has nice mood to it. a nice atmosphere that he's getting across as well, which, look, I envy because I don't, my version when I do black and white is really high contrast, not a lot of gray tones. And this has all the nice tonal work to it as well. So I think it looks really great.
Yeah, he's killing it. Peter did color a couple of pages, and we looked at, not that anything was wrong with them. They were absolutely beautiful. But it lost some of the feel because this is old timey. This is, it's back when Jack the Ripper was running around.
Yeah. So, well, it gives it that nice period feel.
That period feel, yes. And then at one point we thought about doing, having some red splattered into it for the blood. But then Pete, I was still cool with it. But Pete was like, no, I feel like it takes away from the art. And I did agree. It did a little bit. This book was made black and white. It was nothing else fits. We fiddled and fooled around with it, trying to see if there's, anything else we want to do. But Peter's killing it with the black and white. It sets a perfect mood. And I can't imagine adding any color to this just because of how amazing. I mean, just his lighting with the black and white is stunning. You can see the light from the street lamps, and it's just amazing.
So wait, and I mean, he could answer this as he hears me, but the answer too, I'm sure. Does Pete work digital, or is this one original, or is it both?
It's traditional.
Oh, it is. Okay, cool.
It is traditional. We're selling all the pages. Same with our stretch goals. As soon as stretch goals go up, Pete does the stretch goals traditionally as well. So we're also selling the stretch goals. No, Pete can do digital beautifully. Sure. But by heart, Pete's a traditional artist. So he enjoys doing traditional. So
I love this. That's just creepy.
I know, right?
So creepy. I love I've seen vampire movies and stuff, of course, but I'm trying to remember, and Dennis, you might know better. Have there been fangs like that before where it's like the two front teeth, or is this something?
Nosferatu.
That's it. Original. Okay, yeah, the original. He went
back to the original. Pete is very much into the old school monsters, Wolfman, the Thing, all of the original monsters, Frankenstein, all of those. But traditional with some digital cleanup here and there.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty much
the universal monsters. Yeah.
That's Pete's jam right there. So. Yeah, this totally. Oh, yeah, and Salem's Lot.
Oh, Salem's Lot. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
So cool. So you're cruising. So you're working your way to the 50,000 stretch goal.
The 40 right now.
No, I thought you were over 40.
Not yet. Not yet. Well,
not yet. Sorry.
Eventually, I'd like to be there, but no, not yet.
Oh, it'll get there. Is this the first 30 or second?
This is our first 30 days.
Oh, you'll get there for sure.
I will be doing the biggest happy dance you've ever seen.
So then, what do we've got so far? Stretch goals that are already met. What are they?
Well, the first one is scroll up just a little bit more, and all of these trading cards that we are doing. Okay. Those are the stretch goals. Cool. We are also adding in we just unlocked for backers that back from the beginning to this weekend. We were doing a special print, kind of a naughty print that we gave away to all of our backers. So as we go on, we're adding little, on top of the stretch goals, we're also adding little just bits and pieces here and there to, make people as excited about it as we are. And the more money it makes, the more stuff we can give away. So, let's do it. So, but we've got at 10,000, we got the Jack card, and then at 20,000 we got the Queen card, and then at 30 we got the Highgate Vampire, and then
these are secrets.
Yeah, these secrets. Are 40 and 50 are secrets.
No, well, hold on.
He's saying tell him about the next one. He's drawing it now. So you might as well, unless you're the boss and you're saying, no, Pete,
we can't talk about it right now, sir. We have to wait.
But he's drawing it. It's okay.
Well, we have a big we're going to do a big announcement and show it. Peter, goodness. We like to make a big deal about it. I like to make a big deal about it. But you know how artists are. Artists always want to show off their stuff even before it's time to show off their stuffs.
Oh my God, there's such a joke in there. And I know if I do it, Dennis will be like,
I know. Again, this is a PG-13 channel.
such a joke in there. Damn it, Dennis. Yeah, so this is the original art to the cover. That's gorgeous looking.
It is.
That's just really nice. I love the whiteout in the cape.
I know, right? I had to get him. I was trying to do a Chenu. I was doing some fan art for Graham Nolan, and I tried to do a Chenu, and Pete had to teach me how to do the black with the white on top. And he's like, "No, Mandy, you just use like a white paint pen or something." I'm like,
"Yeah,
well, that would have been a lot easier than how I did, because I messed it all up because I didn't know that's how you did it. So Peter taught me how to do that, and he taught me to tape pennies on the bottom of my ruler to get better straight lines.
Yep, that does help. Yep. Once you've been doing it, like I don't do that. I just angle the ruler up. But
pennies on the bottom of the ruler?
Well, lift it up so the ink doesn't bleed underneath.
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
Right?
Yeah.
You can tell I'm not an artist.
Yeah, same here. Peter teaches me stuff though, so I learn little trickies.
No, that's cool. Well, that's great that it's kicking along nice. That's for sure. That's a nice piece too.
It is. It's Peter just kills it. And that was our C cover that we only offered for the first little bit of the campaign.
Oh, okay.
So that was an exclusive cover that you had to back within the first, I think it was 48 hours, it may have been 72, but you had to back within that time frame, and then you could get this cover. So yeah, this cover did very, very well. So
very cool. Well, it's got the ladies.
It's got the ladies. And then, like I said, we're giving away a print that it's got the ladies completely like exposed, laying on a bed like a harem. So it's it's really hot.
Well. Hyper Kaiju likes it, so there you go.
Thank you, Hyper Kaiju. Thank you.
That's a cool shirt.
It is. Pete did that one with that ghastly murder. It's literally taken from the wanted posters of Jack the Ripper, like the time frame.
Is it really?
It really is. That's what it said on top of the newspapers, was ghastly murder, when they first started putting out the Jack the Ripper stuff, trying to hunt him down.
Yeah, you don't see headlines like that for serial killers anymore, damn it.
You don't. No.
You really don't.
Those are the golden days.
Right now you get that they were a good guy and you know, they don't know what happened.
Oh my God, I had no idea. He was such a quiet neighbor. He would take his dog for a walk every day.
Right? That's what you get.
Just bake me homemade bread and bring it over. He's such a nice guy.
Such a good guy. Who would have thought that he was burying all those people under the house, you know?
Exactly. I mean, I never thought of anything when nobody left. They just came in, but they never left.
They never left, but I didn't question it. I just thought it was so good there that they didn't want to leave.
Right. I just assumed it was in the middle of the night when I was sleeping. That's when they left.
He kept gifting me these lamps with these beautiful lampshades. I didn't know it was human skin.
Oh, Dennis. Right. PG-13 show, Dennis. Come on.
Did you hear me effing it? No.
Well, the joke I was going to make early had no bad words in it. It was just suggestive.
Even on PG-13, you're allowed one bad one per episode.
That's true.
That is true. That is true.
Well, you got a lot of stuff sold out, so that's cool. Let's go all the way back to the top just so we can go down. So obviously the featured is the Tombstone box.
Yes.
So that's sweet.
Yep, and that one comes with cover A, cover B, a sketch card done by me, and then also a sketch card done by Peter. So you get a traditional sketch card from both of us.
Damn. Well, that's good. And I got to say, you guys are turning around pretty quick with November. Yeah. So how much does he have? Well, Peter can answer too, but you'd be quicker because you're right here. How far in is he on it?
We are about, Pete? About 10 pages in, 11 pages in.
Nice.
So, yeah.
That's cool. And Joe Bernardo, that is a creepy shirt, but it's a very nice design on the black. It's very cool.
Thank you. No, again, Peter works like nobody I've ever seen. His sleeping times are about like mine. And I would say Peter works about 18 hours a day.
Oh, wow.
So when I say he gets pages out, he gets pages out quick. Very, very quick.
That's
it's just
cool.
taken me forever to get the script down to what I wanted it to be and what he wanted it to be, because it's really important that this book also, illustrates what he wants it to as well. So
Right.
yeah, it's taken some time. This is a big story, and when you're using historical stuff, I try to keep it as close to truth as humanly possible while
Sure.
still giving it an amazing story. So
Sure.
yeah, but yeah, November we will definitely be ready to go.
Nice.
Pete's been killing it. I'm finishing up the Pirate Queen fulfillment. I'm going immediately from that one to the Wart the Wizard fulfillment, and as soon as Wart the Wizard is done, I will be immediately starting the fulfillment on this one as I launch Pirate Queen 2. So
Nice.
I like to stay busy.
Yeah, I can tell.
So are your other ones in demand right now, or how are you working that?
Wart the Wizard 2, Portal of Echoes is still in demand. I haven't closed it. Pirate Queen is closed. I close them about the time I start fulfillment. So I've closed Pirate Queen. Wart is still available. And anything that's anything else that you want, you could go to stuntmancomics.com. It's the website that I made. And that's where I sell all my overprints and stuff like that. That's also where you can commission Peter and I to do things. And just find out what Peter and I have been up to.
So where did the name Stuntman Comics come from?
I came up with that. Peter and I had been just throwing ideas around again. And I don't know what it was. I was trying to find something that was really catchy. I don't know. I was really into to Grand Theft Auto at the time, and I was playing Rockstar games, right? And I was thinking, what has a nice ring to it like that? And I was like, I used to play this game called Stuntman. I don't know if either of you guys played it, but you're you're trying to.
I know it. Yeah.
Fun, so fun. And for whatever reason, Stuntman popped in my head, and I was like, oh, Stuntman Comics, that's perfect. It's got that nice ring to it that I like. So yeah, we went with Stuntman Comics. Plus, I like that I can use a little skull with a bow in its head.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
So then, what is if you can say what's on tap after this one, or is it still top secret?
Oh no! After Jack the Ripper is done, I'll be starting Pirate Queen 2 with Clint Holinsky. At the same time, I am going in with Peter and Wyatt on their book Rocket Gal. They're going to be doing Rocket Gal 2, and I'm going to be doing the writing on that one with Wyatt. Wyatt and I will be writing that one together. So I will but Wyatt's running that campaign. I'm just doing some of the writing on it. So I will be doing Pirate Queen 2 and Rocket Gal kind of at the same time. And then, after that, I guess we'll jump back to Wart the Wizard.
So is it going to be Pirate Queen 2XL or just Pirate Queen 2?
The lug nuts, everybody is saying, and I think maybe Clint may have been going around telling people that that Pirate Queen is getting bigger boobs in book 2. I don't know if he's going to draw the boobs bigger. He might. Okay, there's no telling what Clint's going to do. So her boobs could be out to here by the time this is done. So who knows?
There you go.
And Super Dead is coming. We're going to be redoing Super Dead is before Wart 3. Thank you, Peter. I don't know why I said it in that order, but yeah, then we'll have Super Dead, then Wart 3. So,
cool.
Yeah, we have a full docket. And I have a couple of little ideas in the back of my head. We're also going to be doing Hardcore Pornosaur. We're going to be making that into a comic as well. People have asked for it, and how can I say no? They like the Pornosaur. What can I say? I shall give it to them.
As he says, don't forget. So there it is. That's awesome. So everybody, the link is in the description below. I know Hyper Kaiju has posted the link in the chat too. So definitely go check this out and back it. Let's get this baby up to 40K and higher. And that's awesome. You are crushing it for sure. When it comes to that. Well, seriously, with the amount of stuff you've put out, I mean, 5 campaigns and whatnot. I mean, that's that's no easy doing. So
no, I stay busy. I always laugh about if you go to my very first video that I did like 2.5 years ago. I was so much bigger than I am now. Man, making comic books will make you lose weight. You lose sleep, you lose weight.
What's the captain?
I'm like this big now. I was healthy when I started. Now I eat. I'm eating while I'm writing.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's something. It's hard. It's not. People make it look really, really easy, and for some people, I'm sure it is. It's not though. It's there is a lot of work goes into this. A lot of work goes into this, and unless you do it, I don't know if anybody could explain just how much work indie creators put into. Yeah, it's a labor of love. Nobody would do this if they didn't love comics. You know what I mean? There's nobody would in their right mind would do this unless they truly loved comics.
Well, coming from a guy who did the mainstream stuff for basically 28, 29 years, doing this now, you know, drawing a book is hard enough, but then juggling all this other stuff. I mean, yeah, I'm not doing the lettering and I'm not doing the coloring, but I still have to, you know, organize the stuff to get it out, which used to be the editor's job, but now that's mine.
Yeah.
And then fulfillment and stuff. I mean, Dennis will help me with it as well, so that helps. But still, it's just juggling all the stuff. It's definitely a lot more work than just getting my script for Marvel or DC and going, okay, let me sit down and draw a page.
Right. So, yeah. No, there's so much to this, and then the streaming that is a absolute necessity with crowdfunding, and then so you're also trying to while you're trying to promote, you're also trying to find content for your channel. So you're constantly on the hunt. You're reading through news sources. You're reading through this, like trying to find things that you can even talk about. Because if you're like me, I'm kind of boring. I don't do that much. So, I mean, I can't be talking about, yes, I went and climbed the Alps the other day. And, I went to Walmart, got some groceries. You know what I mean? So you're constantly trying to find content while you're trying to promote your stuff, while you're in the middle of fulfillment, while you're launching another one, while you're writing another one. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot. But I can't think of anything I would rather be doing. This literally is a dream come true. Cause I mean, always in the back of my head thought that it would be awesome to do comic books, but how the hell would I meet anybody to know how to do it? Right. But then Comicsgate came along and it's like, this is where I belong. So
that's fantastic.
Well, that's cool. That's awesome. Well, hey, thank you. We're going to wrap it.
No, thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We're a small channel trying to grow. So we really appreciate it and stuff. And everybody watching, thank you. And back this, the link's in the description below. The link for First Man 2 Learning Curve is also in the description below. Hyper Kaiju, thank you so much for helping out and posting links throughout the stream as well. That is so appreciated. Wednesday, we'll be back, and we're going to talk with my buddy Aaron Lepresti about Wraith of God and do our normal Wednesday stuff. Aaron's a great guy. Glad I've known him for 20-some years. We both had hair when we met. So actually, wait, did I? No, I was already shaving it, but Aaron had hair. I remember. So now neither one of us do. We're going to get Dennis to shave his head on Wednesday live. So join in for that. Right, buddy?
Oh, you're going to join the club?
Buddy? Yeah, no. Come on, Dennis. You'll be here. Start growing this now.
You know what?
We'll take it off.
You know what I'll do? I'll pull up pictures because I used to have hair that, came down to the middle of my back. And, and then you cut it for Locks of Love and, and then I've got gray. Then I went and got gray. I feel like Reed Richards here. And yeah.
It's distinguished.
I could have used some of those Locks of Love, Dennis. Just saying.
Yeah, you could have shared with your friend. I don't feel like you're a team player on this hair situation, Dennis.
He's really not.
I'm not
feeling the teamwork here.
I keep threatening to regrow my hair actually and then my kids are like, "Oh my God, Dad, you would like this old hippie with gray hair." So I would feel like I'm on a commune eating granola and drinking soy. Yeah, okay, not a chance.
You need to threaten them with a mullet or a rat tail.
had a mullet.
I used to have a mullet.
He had a mullet. Oh,
God. You know what? I may party in the back.
I may pull the pictures.
You don't
That's
have
what
to.
we'll do on Wednesday if we get talking about hair.
No,
that'll be interesting.
You really don't have to. All right, guys. Thank you all for joining us. We will be back Wednesday at 5:00. Thank you again, Mandy. We appreciated it. And, well, of course, we're going to have to end with that.
Luke Henry, after kicking Monarch's ass to the depths of space, is back on Earth. And now he's looking to save the world from the Fourth World Foundation. Sure, he had help from Penumbra before, but she's not helping him this time. He's got to face it on his own. He's coming for a villain known as Adonis. He'll do it. You'll be there.